Welcome to my in-depth video on the 75333 Obi-Wan Kenobi Starfighter. If you do enjoy this video, please subscribe because I'll be doing in-depths on a bunch more sets that are coming out this summer. And yeah, starting off with the box art. The box art is kind of confusing because LEGO decided to go with their original trilogy box art on a set from the prequels. So doesn't really make sense, especially considering it's the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones. You think they might have had to bother to put actual box art on it, but apparently not. But it doesn't look that bad, and I suppose the colour doesn't contrast it as much as red would. The red would maybe make it look like it was made specifically for the set, which I suppose LEGO might not have wanted to do, so then it would make it look like all sets would have specific colour. Don't really know, it's just a guess. And yeah, you can see set is 75333 Obi-Wan Kenobi Starfighter, and it's 282 pieces. And you can see the back of the box, it's like it landed and does have like a landing foot, so then it'll stand well. And you can see in the top corner they do have like the stud shooters, which I'll talk a bit more about in a minute. And you can store R4's body in the like area in front of the cockpit, which does work quite well and is quite a nice feature. Really, I don't know where you're supposed to put the satellite dish, but I don't. Maybe there's somewhere to store it, but I don't see anywhere in any of the images. But yeah, the set will cost £30 or $30 and €35, which is interesting because LEGO's pricing is generally like cheaper for pounds, same for euros and dollars. So it's interesting the euros more expensive. Might do a different video on that at some point. But yeah, the set is quite interesting. The fact that it doesn't look like a £30 set. A lot of the previous like Jedi Starfighter are 20 or 25. So yeah, kind of. I don't know if it'll sell as well or if people won't care, because it does come with Obi-Wan Kenobi, which will be a popular minifigure at the moment. But anyway, I do think it will probably do alright. It's just I think people might look at it and think it's slightly overpriced compared to some older sets. But yeah, the minifigures are quite impressive, and I'll talk about R4P17 first. So I'm guessing it doesn't have back printing, because why would LEGO put it on a like normal LEGO set instead of one of the UCS ones, because I'm pretty sure that may stay for just UCS sets. But it is quite a good droid, and I think they've done this one quite well, and there's like it's not like an exemplary minifigure or one that's very fancy, but it does the job. Then we have the Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the Obi-Wan Kenobi minifigure is quite cool. It does come with a lightsaber, and the idea is it's got his like coat or robe on, which makes sense for and he does also come with a hood, which is quite nice that they included the hood and hairpiece, which is something they sometimes don't do, which can be annoying. And I think he might have another face. I'll mention it if I see it in any of the other images. And then onto the interesting minifigure, the Kaminoan. First time we ever got one. And it's slightly disappointing because there was like this leak, well, fake leak, of a like mini doll Kaminoan, and it looked kind of better because it was more proportional. Whereas with this, it's just not much taller than a normal minifigure. I'll talk a bit more about that in a second, but I do think the detail is there, like the face printing's nice and all the torso and leg printing's good. Is using like the skirt piece which they've used for Princess Leia, I think, most recently. And yeah, you can just see that the height difference is quite a lot taller than what the Lego minifigure is, because you look at the Lego minifigure, they're only like a head taller, whereas in this, the like neck and head is taller. So maybe could have been done better, but still like not the worst thing ever. And the minifigures are a pretty good selection for a £30 set. And yeah, the set itself is interesting. I not really sure if I like it or not because there's a few flaws, but the design is quite nice. I'd say it's a sleek design, and the way it works pretty well. But yeah, you can see it here. So you have like a spot for R4's head, and I think that works quite well. Are seeming to be a lot of stickers. Like if you just look, like there's a Republic insignia and the part on the front, which generally has been printed before, so kind of disappointing. But yeah, there are like 15 stickers on the set, which is quite a lot that's like one for every half a pound or dollar. But it is quite a nice set. It does look really well, and the details are there. And I think the middle section doesn't look great to me, and I'll talk a bit more about accuracy later in the video, but it does just seem to go up really quickly after being really flat. But I do think like the cockpit area looks really nice. I think the way they've put stickers, not the way they've put stickers, the fact that the stickers have a nice amount of detail, it does look really nice and quite sleek. And you can see like the wings, well not the wings, but you know, if you know what I mean, where like R4's head is in the stud shooters, they're like much better looking than on previous versions, and it just looks like a much more sleeker, agile ship. But the stud shooters are the new ones, which I just can't make any sense of, because you can see they just don't have any way to hold the stud. Like they just put it in it, and if you tip the set forward, it will fall out, which is kind of pointless as a play feature, because if you're a kid and you're flying this around, and then if you tip the set forward, you don't have any more like projectiles to shoot, which means they're kind of pointless. So I did kind of like the old ones. They are really easy to remove though. Like for if you're buying the set to look at it, it's just the most easy thing. You just don't put them on, and that's it fixed. But yeah, it does look pretty cool. You can see this Obi-Wan Kenobi does have a different face, and it has like his microphone thing and all that. But yeah, the stud shooters, I don't understand why they switched to these ones. Maybe it's because they're sideways and that's something that's good. But yeah, they're a bit more like flick fire missiles, because you like if you hit them harder it'll go further. Maybe that's the idea, but they just don't seem to be able to hold the stud as far as I can tell. But yeah, you can see here Obi-Wan like with his hood, and that is something that's nice. And you can see there's the aerial dish on the set, which is quite cool. They've put like a stud there for it to go, and that's a nice thing that they've done. I don't think they've done that before. And you can see like the seat in the cockpit, and you don't really get a good image of the cockpit, but this is kind of one of the better ones. And it does look quite nice. I think they've done a really good job on the set. But you can see a kid playing with it. But actually, the studs seem to have stayed in. I don't know, I don't own these like stud shooters, so I may be wrong, but I don't really understand how they do. It's a weird thing anyway. But yeah, the set does look really nice, and I do think it'll be quite good for kids to play with. Obviously, there's nothing to go against, and as far as I know, there will be nothing to go against this summer, so kind of, yeah, I kind of wish LEGO had something like, I don't know, say Count Dooku's ship, because they haven't done that since like 2008 or something. But yeah, it is a pretty cool set. You can see another shot. And it is going to be quite a nice like play set, because it is a really like kind of iconic but not extremely iconic set, and also has at a pretty good price point. But yeah, compared to the previous versions, the previous version was like within this like hyper ring thing, and it does look quite different. I do think it looks better. The front section with like the long bit is shorter, I think, and you can see like the sticker is pretty much the exact same as the printing, except they've used a lighter grey. I'm pretty sure it is slightly shorter on the new version, and it does look better in my opinion. There is a definite difference, which is quite cool, and I do think that the way that they've done it, it does look like a really nice set, other than the stud shooters, and they're really easy to remove. I don't really understand like how they stay in whenever it's pointing downwards, but according to the image they seem to. But anyway, compared to the actual set is kind of bigger. Admittedly, this image, because Obi-Wan looks really small compared to R4 if you look at this image, and that is kind of inaccurate, but anyway, you can see this, it does kind of get the job done. It does look quite nice. It isn't as wide, but I do think it not being as wide does look quite nice, and I think the front shouldn't be flat on the actual set, but then it's a bit hard to do the way that they've done a decent job. It just doesn't look good compared to like some of the previous, like different Starfighters are much more curved, and I think that's the kind of point I'm trying to make. Anyway, do hope you have enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.